call's mandate, sir.
No, I think that's very short.
Very short. No, anyway, sir, your entire illustrious thing has been condensed in one page. Please forgive us. This will be quite short by itself.
Today's world of internet, everybody can.
You have so much of content.
Yes, and it will be condensed in one page. So please forgive us for that, sir. Dr. Mahesh Gupta, a first generation entrepreneur, is known worldwide for revolutionizing the water purification industry in India. He is the founder chairman of Kent RO System, India's leading water purifier company. Dr. Gupta, an IIT graduate from Kanpur in mechanical engineering and alumni of Indian Institute of Petroleum, Dehradun, began his early career in 1978 with prestigious Indian Oil. In 88, he bid goodbye to the oil sector giant and with a minimum seed capital at his disposal, ventured into the business of manufacturing instruments for oil testing and checking its pilferage under the brand name Kent Oil Limited. In 1998, Dr. Gupta entered the healthcare segment and launched the first domestic RO water purifier. He started the company from scratch and competed with leading national and international water purifier brands. Kent RO Systems today is the leading and most dynamic water purifier company in India, commanding a market share of about 40% in the RO water purifier segment. In recognition of his contribution to the water purification industry, he is known as the pure water man of India. Dr. Gupta has also been conferred with an honorary doctorate by Sri Sri University, Odisha for his contribution in providing safe and healthy drinking water in rural and urban India. He has more than a dozen patented technologies to market, a manifestation to his passion for technological quest and an innovative development. With ambitious growth plans, innovative marketing strategies, and state-of-art technology, Dr. Gupta today is a man on fast track. A little known fact about Sir is his inclination towards spirituality. He is a disciple of His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar and an active member of the Art of Living. He has always been eager to give back something substantial to humanity. Recently, he adopted 8 backward villages with a commitment to provide clean water and build toilets for improving conditions of sanitation. Today, Sir is offering services the company is offering services in Middle East, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Kenya. Over the years, Dr. Gupta and Kent have diversified into other products like water softeners, vegetable cleaners, air purifiers, vacuum cleaners, and many more. He has been a past chairman of PhD Chamber of Commerce, and he also takes time out to guide young Indian entrepreneurs through guest lectures at many entrepreneurship development programs and MBA institutes. He has also opted to be a mentor under the Indian Institute of Technology IIT Alumni. So that's my total.
Thank you, Harsh. Thank you. Thank you for coming and thank you for inviting me. And I understand the session is inspired, right? So what do you want me to talk? So when I want me to let me see everybody's dream. Okay. So I think I will answer your question. What you want to know, I'll write down and I think I will answer it. You have to write, okay, how do you start and what is the challenges that you face, how do you overcome, and then now the very large challenge from the beginning, how to go the journey. Okay. Anything else you like to know? We can go to past. Would you like to go to future or present?
I would like to know about the marketing techniques that we use to make it.
The marketing techniques used by Kent. Okay. So we have a few questions in mind. About talking about the brand and what is the foundation of the brand, then the foundation of brand there. How to go about building a brand for commodity inside the business, and how to make a brand someone in a new segment. How to build brand in new segment. Fine, that's it. So, coming from another, we recently attended a workshop and there was only sales phase. And 80% time should be spent on marketing, that is on 20% on sales. So your thoughts on this? some marketing tricks that always work.
Okay.
How to build consumer loyalty in today's competitive world? So, on innovation and on the leadership style, so these are few questions we have in mind. I mean, we'll start with.
I think we need to have
The long session. Are you all prepared for it?
I'll add one more. The journey from 0 to 1 for the company is very different than 1 to 10 and 10 to 1. And coming from the service background myself, that 0 to 1 has its own challenges, both on the personal front and the business front. So a little more insight on what went in your mind then, anything to be inspired with now for some of us, not all of us.
sure.
I have one more.
Yeah.
So now with the world changing so much, things you don't know what's there tomorrow. With such a big conglomerate you have, what's the future you're looking at? Where do you want to diversify to so that everything is not in one city? So, because if you understand what I mean, you don't know big companies are just going down suddenly because the trend changes. So, what's the future like for Ken?
Very nice question. Very nice question. Yeah.
How do you keep ahead of the competition? Because so many startups are coming in, they get heavily funded also. So how do you keep ahead of that so-called competition?
It is very difficult to steer such a big ship.
Yeah. Sure, sure. These are the live questions and they will remain live, right? So we should try to find an answer. So I try to find answers along with you, right? Okay, so I think before I get into all these questions which are related to my views, I like to share some of the views with you. You all are from the business family or you are all some of you are startups? You are a startup, Arun is a startup.
Business families who started their own
Different, fair enough. But I think by and large in the chamber, if people come in, they come in from business families, right? So most of you must be from business families and must be second or third generation or fourth generation business people, right? So first I must congratulate you that you have been born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Most of you. The challenges faced by first generation entrepreneurs are different than what is faced. You also face challenges, let me put it up. And you face much more challenges than what a first generation entrepreneur faces, because you carry a lot of baggage on your head. You carry a baggage of expectations, you carry baggage of performance, and all those things are there on your back as well. The startups face different type of baggage, you face different type of baggage. But you understand business. Maybe the first generation, the person who just starts doesn't understand business so very well. But I must say at this point of time that we all are lucky to be in business at this juncture where India is placed today. These are very exciting times and these are very challenging times. You all must agree on this. Why it is so, I am not going in detail. These are challenging because we have seen 2 years of pandemic and we are seeing uncertainty today. The questions have been asked, the world is changing, how do you look at your competition, and all these are very natural questions in everybody's mind, and we need to find an answer to these questions. So pandemic is causing, then there is a war and the war is not ending. If this war will end, some other war will come, because there is a conflict. There are worlds which are bipolar and those worlds will keep on fighting, and it's going to create uncertainties. Today the food uncertainty has come in the world suddenly because Ukraine could not supply the food to the world. The gas uncertainty is there, oil uncertainty is there. So we all times in our history, if you look at the history of last 50 years, there have been uncertainty on some issue or the other. So please be clear in your mind that if we live in this world, we live in this world with uncertainty. So there is nothing like, oh, this is the way it is going to work. It's only academics. They'll give you a problem, they'll give you a theorem, or they'll say this is the way it is solved and that's it. But that's not the way the life works. Life is going to keep bringing unexpected things in front of you, and you will have to find a solution for this. That's why you are leaders in your own sphere. I would say, if you are at home, there is a leadership at home. If you are in school, there is a leadership in school for every participant. If you are in office, you have a leadership. Wherever you will go and wherever you function, so you have different functions to perform. And each function to perform, you have leadership. And the leadership is nothing but to take care of these challenging times, challenging situations, challenging events. And it's similar. Its only thing is quantum may be different, the proportions may be different, but it brings you the same questions in front of the mind. So we'll try to understand this today, what to do. But I would say these are exciting times because what is happening to India is not happening to the whole world. India today is poised for a very exciting times to come, because this is time for India. As you will go back into the history, you will find every country has seen its peak and has come down. They have not remained at the peak all the time. There was a generation in the English country wherein they had the technology, they were pioneers in science, and they went up and they ruled the whole world. They were Mughal empires earlier, they had power, so they could rule the world. And then we have seen different countries have overtaken by different times. The Japan took over. USA obviously is doing because of the resources. So two things makes a difference when a country goes up. South Korea was such a poor country, and it has gone up now in technology. China has gone up in the last 30 years in a big way. But the world will not allow any country to remain on top. It will keep cycling, the whole world. So, but India's time has come now. Why India's time has come? Because we have seen China is on one side, Russia is on one side, the whole world is on the other side, and they want not to deal with China. So, which is the second country left? So, India is the country which is left now for many reasons. One is Indian education system has proved that people from Indian diaspora has gone abroad and performed very well. So, Indian academics is second to none. This has been proved. Then India is a big country, 130 million people. It's a big demand. You can't find such demand except in China. And China grew only because of this market. The whole world went to China not because they wanted it a manufacturing hub, they went to China to find a market in China. So people, the all multinationals which are coming to India are also coming. Not that they want India to produce and sell all over the world, they are coming here so that their goods can be sold in the country. So they are finding that such a 130 million population is nowhere in the world, it's an aspiring population, so the demand would be there. Demography. You can't find anywhere in the world where there is such a young population. China doesn't have still young population. China is an aging population. Japan is an aging population. The European is an aging population. So India is a young population today. Young population means these are the people who can work and deliver the things to you. So these advantages are pushing the whole of the world to look at India. And obviously in last 6-7 years we have seen a very stable government. That has again brought in a very positive vibes for India, and it's going to continue. Now the situation has come into India politically. We will be democratic. Politically we know we have good party to rule at. We have been taking that they have a full majority. So it's not a government which is not in control. So government is in control. So all these factors to my mind are very exciting times for the country. So country is going to witness growth, and in that growth you are part of the business. So you are very special in terms of, if I look at the age of the way the business has been evolved over the period of time. So you must pat your back and you must say that I have a good time in front of me, whether I can catch on this time or not. So this is first thing, you must believe that yes, you are in a good time. Challenging will remain all the time, but this is a good time for you. So what you need to do in these good times and uncertain times, we'll see how best we can resolve these issues and come to a time where we can take better decisions in time. What I would like to tell you at this moment of time is how things are going to work out. Let's look at the past. The way technology has changed. If something changed in let's say 30 years in the past, how much time will it take to change the technology which is today? I think rate of change, I call it a rate of change, would be more faster in future. It is more faster today. In my lifetime, I have seen faxes came in, faxes went away. Emails have come in, emails have gone, social media has come in. Things are changing very fast. If you bring in certain production units, if you bring in some product, if the product had a life cycle of 30 years in the past, it's not even 5 years today. And I don't foresee that in future also, your life cycles may be even 2 years or 1 year. So in that short life cycle, you'll have to produce the product, you have to market it, you have to cash on the product, and then think of what else next, what's going to rule in future. So be sure about it, the rate of change will be much faster. Why it will be much faster? Let's understand this point. Rate of change will be faster because people are working on all the technologies and they are working with a very fast pace. The way IT industry is evolving, the way technology is evolving, it is evolving very fast. We have become more intelligent. As a human race, we have become more intelligent. As a human race, we have more technology in our hand, which we never used to have. So obviously this all is going to help you to evolve for newer products and newer technologies. So people who are sitting idle say, okay, I have a big business and I am making good money and I am okay with it. And sometimes the elders are going to say us, why do you require, I have 100 crores of rupees, even interest is good enough, you just enjoy your life, right? Or take less risk in life, take businesses which are not going to be risky at all. Well, I can tell you for sure that they will not be able to say in future. If you are not going to work, nothing is going to work. Where you are. To ask a simple question to you. When India got liberated in the 1947, how many states were there? How many kings were there? Hundreds of them. How many kings you find them today? They would not have their living today. Where did they go? Where did their wealth went? It's just vanished over a time. More people were created, more wealth was created, and they were nowhere in the field because they were sleeping. They thought what they have is good enough. They have nothing today. You can't even listen to few names except some royal houses, 4 or 5 royal houses. And this is the way it will evolve. You look at the US, you look at the people who are rich are no more rich today. People have come up and will take over, and this cycle will out. So I would say you be inspired and be work, that you have to continue to work and excel in whichever area you are going to, otherwise you will come down. Nobody can stop it. And I am only looking at the trends which has happened. And trends are going to be more faster, as I said. Rate of change will be much faster. So in your lifetime, I think you will see what you will make may not hold good after 5 years. So constantly you have to find new business opportunities. If it is product, you will have to find new products. Because what people will demand will be different things. What people are demanding today, tomorrow they may not demand. Then what are you going to do? You have to close the business. Yeah? Do you all agree with me on this? So this is what I want to say that. So uncertain world, yes, it is uncertain world. And how to navigate in this certain world, we can have some philosophies, but then you have to find yourself. How will you navigate this uncertain world? But this is uncertain world. And the future will be more uncertain, let me tell you for sure. It's not going to go right that you can sleep over the bed and say, oh, let me enjoy a good cup of coffee. I've done for my life. No. That is not going to be there. So you have to find that energy in you, how to work it out. But there are few things which hold good for all businesses. Some few pointers I am going to tell you. If you want to be succeed and perform well in businesses in this uncertain world, I would say one is innovation. Whatever you are doing, right, you should always look at how better you can do it. Simple question to yourself. Always, how better you can do it. You will find an answer. I cannot give answers to each problem. But every man over a period of time has always worked upon and said, how can I do it better? Now, it is not true only for products. It's true of every activity which you do. Whether it is in a manufacturing space, whether it is in a service space, whether it's product designing space, whichever space you want to work on. You always have to ask a question, sit down and ask, can it be done better? Then your mind will start working, how can you do it better? And this exercise, I think we will need to do it all over life. That is how you will find new methods and new innovations of doing things. And that is how you can keep ahead of the competition. This is one of the things. How it will evolve, I don't know. Everybody, at least I have in my life done throughout. And we have always come out with solutions which are very innovative solutions. You ask questions on branding and all those things. These all are innovations done by us. I can go with examples as we move forward. But the key, I am giving you a key in your life. Always think of innovation. And innovation is not a word to be used. You have to define that, okay, I am doing this, can I do it better? So two things come, whatever you are doing, can I do better? Second innovation is, can I do something else? I am doing this work, can I do some other work? Does this satisfy my needs? Does this satisfy my aspirations? That also answer can come, that's also innovation. So these two things you keep looking at it, keep answering it. You don't have to take a paper and always write, okay, let me do this, but keep doing this, it will help you. Second important thing I am going to tell you now, which you all are doing at some stage or the other. If you want to be in business or whichever activity you want to do, personal life or is relationships. We are human beings. As a human being, we all give importance to relationships. Whether you are in sales, whether you are in production, whether you are in your home or wherever it is. Can you build better relationships? Can you build relationships? Suppose you are heading the sales organization. Now you have dealers and distributors. Now, do you people correlate to each other besides business? If it is only, okay, you give me my money and you give me my product is one relationship, fair enough. If he is in dire need of it, he will do that. But when you are in need from him, would he give business to you? If he has an option of two people, would he prefer to you or not? What is this? This is relationships. And this has worked since you were a childhood. It will work when you are in business. It will work in your life. It will work in future. So relationship building is an exercise which you have to do. And how do you build relations? It is the second question to you. You build relations if you do something for the other, not to take it from him. Simple relationship, okay. You said, okay, when is his birthday? Let me wish him a birthday. When is your anniversary? Let him wish him. Although you have a very small relationship. Now, it takes a lot of effort from you. Suppose you want to build relations with 100 people, you have to keep doing it. But one is doing mechanically, another person is saying, yaar, isko to zarur wish karenge. You have to find your own ways. But what I mean to say is, how many people you can count your fingers with whom you can are doing business, that you have personal relationship with them. And when you talk of relationship, I will only tell you one important thing. which the source which you need to build it up is your communication. I think it's the most difficult thing which people have understood is communication. We feel we say something at the moment I am giving a talk to you, so I am communicating with you, right? So do you think it's only the word which are communicating? Many people think it's only the word, the way I am expressing is communicating. It's not that. It's much deeper than that. Communication. Communication is how sincere you are to what you are saying. If you believe in something and you say, it gets to the other person. If you don't believe in this and you are saying for the heck of it, it will never get to the other person's communication. Do you all agree with me? Is making sense?
Absolutely.
And let me tell you, spiritually it has been proved very well that communication does not happen by word. Communication can happen in silence. Why? The whole life is nothing but vibrations, it's energy. If I am saying something is one aspect of it. Second is, you must have observed this. If you are in a company of people whom you like, you feel good, whether you speak or not. People whom you don't like, I don't think you feel good in the company, whether you say something or not say something. Has everybody felt it or not?
Yes.
So what is this? You are communicating. Your feelings communicate, your words communicate. So to build up a communication is always going to help you. Today Modi is so Modi because he knows how to communicate by words at least. What's the difference between a top leader, a leader who can, for masses, is communication. So we need to have a good communication in terms of words, in terms of our feelings, in terms of expressions. The moment you build up these communication skills, you don't have to build it up, you don't have to start working on a dictionary, or I have to build my, you should be aware, yes. Because what we think communication is, I am saying something, I have said it, that's my communication, right? But this is not communication, this is expression. Communication is what registers in the mind of the person who is going to receive. If I say something, where it is striking? It's striking on your ears. But is it striking in your mind? And are you absorbing that strike? The moment you absorb the strike is a communication. So your whole life is going to revolve around communication. So if you are going to ask all questions on branding, branding is nothing but the way you are communicating. It is so simple. See, if we understand these three philosophies, then you will find all the answers in these three philosophies. Yeah? So I think this is the little introduction I will give you. Then let me take some of the questions which you have raised, which are... So the last questions you have raised, world is changing, future, I told you this is uncertain world. So everyone will have to navigate himself. But the scenario is very clear, right? If you come to specific questions, I can answer that rather than a generic question. How do you keep ahead of the competition? Is the last question was asked to me. Okay, let me ask this question to you. You are running a 100-meter race. You are standing, two competitors are besides you, and you have to run 100 meters. Where do you want to look at? Left or right? Why?
To achieve your goals, so you have to.
Simple as that. So why are you looking at competition? I am not saying you don't look at this data, but don't get worried. When I introduced my RO purifier, I started selling at 20,000 rupees in the year 98. You know what price Eureka Force was selling his water purifier, UV purifier? At 4,000 rupees. Obviously, I was supposed, he has a brand, 70% market share. I could have been out from the business, and in fact, I wouldn't have stood up to them. But I stand in front of you. Everybody said, how are you going to compete with it? I said, I am putting my proposition on the table. If people like it, they take it. If they don't like it, they will not take it. If they will not take it, I will come out of business. So I never looked at a position. Today also, all advertisements, people will come and analyze, okay, your competitor's ratio is so, this ratio is so. I said, fair enough. I take it and absorb it. That's it. But I don't get worried about it. But I always ask, what is my proposition? And I work for my proposition and walk that path. Not telling everybody, this is my proposition, I need to do this. So you have to be sure on what you want to do and walk your path. So don't look at too much competition. Be aware that they are doing this. I am not saying you should live in your own pond and not know what the other person is doing. Just be aware, but don't get worried. Make your path and see what you want to do. And if you work towards that, you will get in there. Yeah. Journey from, I am going from back to top, okay?
So something related to what you just said.
Yeah, no problem. You can keep asking questions with the point which I am raising, and if you have any questions on that point, raise it there itself.
So there's a connected question that generally businesses these days are commoditized. I mean, there are many brands, and a brand is competing with multiple of people. How do companies get success? Like you mentioned, Eureka Forbes at 70% market share. There are other brands available in the market, but still Kent is able to secure a major portion of the market. What stood out, and how did you do it? I mean, competing with a 70% market share brand at a price point, and in a country like India where people are very, very price conscious.
Fine, excellent question you asked me. Okay, these are questions which will come in anybody's mind. Okay, now I go to the basic thing for you people. You guys are all in business, right? Let me get into one basic question. What is business? Let's define business. Let's define business. Making a profit.
Addressing issues.
Addressing the issues. But basically, what she said is right. Yeah. But how do you make profit? Business is to make profit. Business is to make profit, right? But how do you make profit? I will give you a simple answer to make profit. Give less, take more. Delta is profit. Is it clear or not? To me, that's the definition. Give less, take more. In return, you get a delta. That's a profit. Now, how does the other person buy lower? If you go to buy something, you will say, I want lower price and higher value. So he wants a profit. You go out to the market, you say, no, this is 100 rupees thing, I am getting it 90 rupees, let me buy this. So how do you make profit? He is on the other opposite side, he wants more and you want more. Now how does the transaction happen? Now the whole business is nothing but this delta. If you can understand this delta, you are in the good space. But this delta is nothing but I call it value creation. What is value creation? He has a shirt. Now he has bought this shirt for 2000 rupees. The same shirt can be stitched at 400 rupees. So why did you pay 2000 rupees? That means you thought it is more than 2000 rupees. Am I right? Otherwise you wouldn't have bought it. You must have thought it is 4000 rupees. Right? Other guy made profit out of it. Now what's the difference? So that means for anything which you want to transact and do business, you have to create a proposition, and you have to create in the mind, you have to communicate and create in the mind of the customer that it is that much valued. The moment you create that value in the mind of a customer, you can get profit. If you have not created a value in the mind of your customer, you can never be profitable. So the whole business of making profit is creating value for your product. You can create, like you have fashion products. Fashion products means, oh, I look so beautiful in this dress. Lady will go and buy a sari for 50,000 rupees, and the shopkeeper when selling them, madam, बहुत अच्छी लग रही है आपके ऊपर, आप इसको ले लीजिए. तो उसका माइंड चला गया, बहुत अच्छी लग रही है, अब उसकी वैल्यू नहीं है कोई. 50,000 में मिलेगी. Like it's a natural fact. So value is being created by a shopkeeper, by branding, by your looks. So that value creation is happening there. So you have to see what you are offering to a consumer what is a value addition in that. So competitor is trying to sell the product, all that competition is there, but your main goal has to be whatever I am offering, whether it's a product or services, what is my differentiator? Have you created a differentiator with competition in your product or not?
Just a follow-up question on this. Is there something special that or different that one should do in the B2B industry where the buyer is also...
Yes. You can do it everywhere. It is B2B, B2C. B2C is much easier because it's in your hand. So you are saying, how do I create in B2B? In a B2B, a consumer, what is in B2B now? I'll tell you what you should do in B2B. B2B, your differentiator is only one, which is there always, is quality. Now, if you can convince your consumer, with your buyer, that your quality is superior, and it should be superior. It's not that you're just convincing him. You go an extra mile and create a quality, he will pay you extra. Or you will become his number one vendor. Right? A. Number two, you keep working on his proposition. How can I reduce his cost? Without sacrificing quality. In India, it's unfortunate that in B2B space, people work only in reducing the price. Sir, he is giving you at 100 rupees, I will give you at 95 rupees. Yes. Please give me the order. And how will he reduce 95? By reducing the quality. Yes. Am I right? Yes. No, that's a wrong notion. You can never prosper by this. Let me tell you another business trick which you need to do. Is always enhance your quality. जितना तुम बेटर, तुम बोलोगे नहीं यार वो तो पैसे नहीं देता, वो तो इतने रुपए देता है, बट आपको कंज्यूमर मिलेगा आपको जब आप बेटर क्वालिटी में काम करोगे. People who will grow, you look at the history of the people who are doing well today or in the past or in future, only those people will grow and do better businesses who have better quality. Even if you are the topper, the best quality in B2B, you have to say, how can I improve my quality? It's innovation. Can I reduce his rejection? Can I show him another alternative to him? Don't close your window because you are a master of that. So value creation you can do, but then you will have to do a little bit of hard work, little bit of innovation. But unless you will create a better value, you will not be a preferred supplier for him. Second could be timely supplies. The consumer wants to keep the minimum inventory. Now you are able to say, no sir, with whom you keep them a 1 month inventory, I will give you 10 days inventory. Whatever time you say, I will give you 10 days earlier. Now with that vendor say, why should I keep so much inventory? Right? So these are the two things which are coming up. So again, you will have to look at your problem and your solution. So if we can discuss on a table, then I can tell you for this business, these are the features you can build it up. These are the values you can build it up. If you build these values, it will work. Did I answer that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did I answer your question? That how you can be in the competitive space, so many people. So that is not a generic answer, but this is the way to look at it. What value I can create. Let me tell you one history. One example let me give you which has been recited to by somebody. There was a village and everybody was asked to make one handkerchief and come next day. So everybody made one handkerchief and came. So everybody started presenting to the master a handkerchief, this I made, this I made. Now a lady came in, old lady, and she, before presenting the handkerchief, she recited 10 features in her handkerchief which nobody recited. Now which is more valuable? Tell me. The lady which could describe 10 features of that for handkerchief, obviously it has certain value. That's a value proposition. Now if it has to be sold, then that can be sold better. Am I right?
So like you said, communication and value proposition are the key.
These are the keys. These are simple tricks. They will work essentially all your life. How do you sell at a higher price? Let me ask you. See, I'll tell you how did I start my business, since you asked this question to me. I'm sharing with you guys. When I left Indian Oil, I started making a product called oil testing gauge, whisk gauge I named it. That equipment was to test viscosity of oil. You know oil, lubricating oil, some are thin, some are thick. The product is called viscosity. Viscous means one which flows slowly, less viscosity, water flows faster. Now this is very essential in all industrial machineries because quality of machinery, life of machinery depends on oil. I devised equipment which could test viscosity of oil within minutes on site. I have a patent on that still today. Now when I made that equipment whisk gauge, it was costing me 100 rupees. In those days of, I'm talking of 88 time. You know what I priced that product for? Guess, what did I price it for? 1,000 maybe. 1,000? 2,500 rupees. 25 times. Why did I price 25?
Was it the only product in the market?
That was the only product in the market because I invented that product. Why did I price 24? Why people were in the queue to buy me? Because they benefited more than 2,500 rupees. They had to wait for the oil to get tested. They were taking 1 month of time to get it tested. Results are supposed to be known today. They were very happy. If I wouldn't have done that, I don't think I would have made my first lakh of rupees. If I wouldn't have made 1 lakh of rupees, I wouldn't have done this. So, what value proposition you give to a consumer and what does he benefit out of this will determine the price of the product. So that's how transaction happened. I gave him a 2,500, but my price was 100, so I made 2,400 profit. He thought he's buying a product worth 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees, which he couldn't find the answer. So he was very happy. So business happened. And that's all the business is all about. As I said, value addition. How that product is useful to the other people. I made a water purifier, 20,000 rupees, against 4,000 rupees I started selling. But people thought it's a value because it saves life of their children, saves their life. And they found the value because it could remove what is soluble in water. The UV purifier was not able to remove what is soluble in water. You were able to show them you put a salt in water. Will the other purifier remove? They said, no. I said, I will remove it now in front of you. I made a kit which I could take to the customer's house at that time. We used to take his water and then say, okay, now taste this water. Taste what is soluble in water. So first 3-4 years we had to take that kit to the customer's house. We have to demonstrate to him, no, this is what 20. People said, yeah, it's a good thing. Let's buy for the health. And people bought. And that is how this brand has been established over a period of time. So that's a value. So you have to keep asking, what value am I creating in the business? Can I create more value? Can it be more useful to the customer? So your product is centric to whom? Your product is centric to customer. Where you want to sell. So you don't have to start thinking, I want to sell this pen. No, that's the wrong question. That's your product. But what customer requires? Are you able to feed him that? If you have to make something which a customer requires, you are able to feed him back, you will be successful. That's how you will create value. Yes? Answer? Okay. So journey to 0 to 1 is difficult, 1 to 10 is something. So 0 to 1, I think I have answered this question. Obviously, you have to multiply. So how do I go from here is a question which we should look at it. But unless you make money, you cannot grow. You cannot grow on borrowed money. The US is borrowed money. But I think in India, I am an old-fashioned guy. I have never borrowed money. I always believe you make money and then invest. But it's the wrong advice to you guys. You can borrow money, but use it judiciously. Don't become most of the startup. And
Exactly. So what I also wanted to ask is, what's your view on the last few years, which have been like overnight startups with full of money without even probably at times knowing their own business model? And
see, I have my own views. See, this is good and bad both. See, if there are 100 startups, one startup will be successful. But how long they will be successful needs to be seen. Baizu is successful today. Will it be successful in future? Is their business model known? But obviously, so far, it's their business model as well. And it always happens in businesses, some will perish and some will be successful. So, but point is this, the whole ecosystem has evolved. You people are lucky at this moment that you don't have to chase money, money will chase you. If you have a good proposition, people will come and say, okay, I am ready to fund you. And you can pitch to a number of people and get funding done up. And then you, hey, please come. So you can move forward with the money which is there in the market. So people are more and more people are trying to start up because they have many ideas, and those ideas people are ready to take risk and put money on it. Fair enough. There is nothing wrong in it.
People see a gap somewhere. If I plug this gap, maybe we can provide a better service.
Yeah. That's what people are looking, always looking at better idea. So suppose the Zomato came in because they said we'll deliver at your home. I'm not still able to find out how they can be profitable. Because every time putting a person from restaurant and deliver to them, but that's their business today. So most of the businesses today are happening on valuation game rather than on long-term sustainability. But that will happen. So we do that Ponzi schemes. I will multiply your money by 3 years. You keep investing on it, and it goes bust after some time. What is multi-level marketing? Multi-level marketing is a similar thing. You buy this and you make more friends, and then you make more friends. You get certain amount of share, and your share will keep doubling it. At some end, it has to lose, and keep multi-level companies start flying off overnight. Then, so they eat away somebody else's money. So is happening today in this scheme of funding. Some of the venture capitalists make money and get out from those ventures. They will take out their money for sure. But who will lose in the end? Last mile guys will lose the money in the end if it is not successful. Yeah. Okay. What else? Leadership style.
To elaborate, sir, question exactly was there are two extreme examples. We have example of, say, Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, who have been very ruthless, hard taskmasters. There are said to be other set of people who are more accommodative, more kind of inclusive with their team. What are your thoughts, your personal style? How do you see it happening? Because that's a real life challenge we all face.
Well, I think leadership style means you have to define your own style. Two people cannot be identical. You have to look at your issues and say, how can this be resolved? How can you find a better solution to this? So, I am not a management, I don't know much of management jargons. You have put in some jargons here, okay, he has this style, he has this style. But I think one need not copy the style of anybody. You have to evolve your own style.
Agreed, sir.
But to my mind, it's not important what style you prescribe to. What is more important is how honest you are in what you want your people to do. If in your heart you are honest that we want a person to do this, he will do it. I can tell you, people will not work for millions of dollars being paid for his salary, but people can work for peanuts and give you more dedicated work. I have seen myself. You go to Art of Living Foundation, which is a voluntary organization. I am a trustee of that. I have IIMs, I have IT people who are working for 10,000 rupees a month, full time. Because they feel that more is in giving to the society rather than taking some money. So why they are there? So I will come to a beautiful point here. We in management jargons think we need to motivate people by money or style or whatever it is. Right? It's a true fact. But I think motivation is an old philosophy. Whatever you motivate a person, that becomes his right. He's always looking for something more. Then you give him that, he is looking for something more. Am I right? Whether it is giveaways, incentive, or whatever it is. So what is the answer? The answer is inspire him. Can you inspire him for a higher goal? If you can inspire him for a higher goal, and you work in an organization for a higher goal, then people get inspired. Oh wow, Besides salary, I am also looking at this. So inspiration remains throughout your life. The incentive is very short term. But you can inspire people when you are honest and you are trying to for the well-being of the people, rather than amassing wealth for yourself. So you have to evolve, care and share principles in your life. So innovation, I think I have already touched. Question was raised on innovation. I think I have already touched importance of innovation. How to build consumer, brand tha kya tha? Consumer loyalty. I think this also I have answered you. You keep creating values and be honest what you are promised to the consumer. Consumer will never go away from the brand. Yeah. Does that answer? So 80% people work on brand and 20% on sales. This is what the question was asked. What?
Sir, one seminar I attended, there the speaker had said two things. One, he said only sales fails. So if you do only sales, that will never work. And you should spend 80% of your time on marketing, and the balance 20% after that, then you should sell.
Okay, let me tell you, both things are right, but 80-20 I don't agree.
Okay.
You certainly need to brand your product because that's how you create value. Again, branding is nothing but creating value. Today in the market, there are at least hundreds of RO water purifiers. Water purifiers are being sold as low as 5,000 rupees RO purifier, and we are selling at 20,000 rupees. People still come and buy us. They buy us on branding certainly, but not only on branding. So we have also created a value proposition in this. So value proposition will always rule, but as you said, branding is important. If branding is not there, consumer will not come to your shop. But today simultaneously many things are happening today in our product. People come to buy Kent, but the dealer can push any other product.
Yes.
So what happened? Now if I have done 80% job of branding, but sale doesn't come to me from there. Why? Because dealer has not much incentive to sell. His incentive is in a 4,000 rupees product to be sold at 10,000, he makes 6,000 rupees. So this is 80-20 is not correct. You have to have branding. Because if you don't have branding, you cannot command value. And you can't ask the customer to come to your shop. But simultaneously you have to build a scheme wherein you are able to incentivize the dealer, a distributor to push your product. So there are two strategies in sale term I can tell you. It's called pull and push. Pull means I ask customer to come to my shop. Push means I push a product to him. Now if I have a TV brands, I have 50 brands to sell. In a brand to sell, which brand the consumer, the retailer will sell, where he gets a better margin.
Yes.
His loyalty is not to you or a scheme. He has to fulfill a scheme, he will say, oh, this scheme is getting fulfilled, I have to buy so many things at this time. So it's not 80-20%, it will depend on the product, it will depend on competition, it will depend on the strategy which you need to work. But there is no two opinion that if you are in a consumer product, not in B2B branding is required. No branding is required in B2B, but if you are in B2C product, branding plays an important role. Yeah. So, branding, you want to ask questions on branding. Yeah? How foundational branding? I think we are talking on branding itself.
Yeah.
So, branding is, as I said, very important. How did I brand? This is a question you raised?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think it's hasty now, you all know about it. Let me tell you this story. I started 98 water purifier and I was struggling to sell water purifiers because my price was high. This continued till story 2005, and I realized that I was from the B2B background because I was selling oil testing equipment. I never had a B2C background. Then I realized that if I have to succeed in this business, I have to get to the branding. And I have to take chances and risk for the investment required for branding. My business was not so big at that time. We were doing only 25 crores worth of product at that time. And I knew if I have to brand, I require minimum 15-20 crores, 10 crores. I didn't have that money. But somehow or the other we said brand ambassador is a must. So in 2005 we signed Hema Malini ji to be our brand ambassador. We were able to zero in her. I'm not going to that story right now, but could do it. But in 2005 I didn't have the money to make a TV film. I had to make a TV film, I had to release it, that money was required. I didn't have that money in my kitty. Because I never thought of borrowing money. I said, whatever you have to do. So we paid Hema Malini, but we went only for a still shot. And I used her in the advertisement. If it worked, and then 2006 I went for a television commercial. So you have to look at your pocket, you have to look whether you can afford that or not. But certainly branding is important and you need to do it. And I think the story in future in India, the way I look at it, there are very few Indian brands today. If you go to the European countries, you'll go to the American countries, you'll find number of people, number of brands there. Lot of branding is going to happen in this country. Lot of branding is going to happen in this country. Everything would be branded. All commodities are getting branded now. You never used to have masala branding. You never used to have your daily commodity branding. Salts are being branded today. The flours are being branded today. Dals are being branded today. So all that consumer product branding will come because today we have very less time. As a consumer, we don't have time to go and look at a product and see, oh, it's good quality or bad quality. We perceive quality of a product by the branding. And as our habits will change and as we order on internet and we order on phone, branding will play the biggest role in all commodities. The biggest thing is going to happen in each product you can start branding. And we will have, there is a thumb rule of branding. 3 products in any product category, 3 products will take 80% of the market share. And balance all brands, even if you have any number of brands, they will get into balance 20%. Thumb rule of 3. So if you want to be in that first 3 rules, you have to create that market share, and you can create that market share only by branding. Yeah. Anything on branding? You have question? How to build brands? How to build brands in new segments? New segment. Well, you have to have your own innovative method. The way we have used media is very innovative. What you are communicating is very innovative. I have not changed that sentence as can't data sabse shudh pani. Finish. Now that has gone into mind of the consumers. So messaging is very important. What message you want to communicate? In fact, I was happy to know about 1 month back that our case was discussed in the IBM board meeting. And they said what we advertise is at least clear what we are advertising. Many advertisements come, people come to know what we are advertising. What you are selling. So people say creative. But our advertisements are very innovative in the sense they don't tell a good story, but they do tell what we are trying to sell. And we have kept pace for last so many years with the same communication. So, and third important thing in brand building is continuous branding. You don't brand for 2 weeks and then say off the air. So people will spend full page advertisements in 2-3 newspaper and say, okay, I've done up with my budget. It doesn't lead to anything. You must understand, I'm going to give you a simple theory, which you must understand in branding. The public memory is very poor, is equal to 0, public memory. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm going to ask, important activities which happened in this country, crimes happened. How many crimes do you remember? There was a Tandoor case. Who was involved in Tandoor case? How many people know? You will not know. So whatever is in media, you know for a few years, and then you diminishing your memory, new things keep coming in your sphere. So the memory, public memory is very poor. So don't get worried about negative publicity if it happens. It is not going to remain in the mind of the people. But your positive publicity should be continuously on all the time. I'll tell you for sure that we have not gone out of television advertisement even single day since 2006. In either one channel, second channel, third channel, sixth channel. We have not gone out of. We are still advertising every day. Sometimes in peak season, sometimes off peak season, something. Because if you are continuously present, people will keep you in the mind always to buy. So branding can happen also by innovating method of media selection, what you are communicating. So all those techniques are essential. Another question was market change used by, what is the marketing changes used by Kent? This was the question, I don't know. मार्केटिंग टेक्निक तो मैंने बता दिया ना. मार्केटिंग टेक्निक क्या आपका ब्रांडिंग है. मार्केटिंग टेक्निक क्या ऑफर करते हो आप अपने कंज्यूमर को, आप क्या प्रमोशन करते हो उसके लिए. तो आई थिंक वी हैव दैट्स व्हाट वी हैव यूज्ड इट जुडिशियली एंड ऑल द. I did innovative. I designed my RO purifiers in a suitcase. I said I go to his house, I take his water, I make a good water out of it and let him drink. This is also a promotion. So proof of pudding lies in eating. So you have to see what money you have in your pocket and how you want to use it. It's not that you have to blast in television in a cricket match, you have to go IPL and you have to make a TVC and you have to blast. Even if you blast for 2 months, it doesn't mean you will start selling in future. You will create an awareness, but that will not yield you anything. You will burn about 50 crores of rupees and then what? Can you sustain this over every full period? Can you afford that type of investment? That you need to look at it. Anything else you like to know? Tell me. I think I am done up with your questions, but we can continue to interact. That's not an issue.
One more question, slightly off the track.
Yeah.
So you gave 3 years of your life to PhD as a VP, senior VP president. So before deciding to give those 3 years, what were your thoughts? How did you perceive that giving those 3 years to a chamber? How would it help you as a person?
Yeah.
Personally, professionally, in hindsight,
Yeah.
having done that, were those things matched, or did you make something more out of it? Did you make something different out of it? So if you can share some perspective.
Sure. See, we are in business, and once you move up in the business, I told you one of the most important aspects today I have given my relationship. So how do you get into relationship with the bureaucracy, and how do you get into relationship with the... It's not that you want to take something out of them. So I told you relationships are not built when you want something from them. It is what you can give it to them. So and you learn quite a lot once you interact with them. So I think if I wouldn't have that chamber, maybe I wouldn't have got so much opportunity to interact. So I cherished and I enjoyed doing that. Obviously you have to give it to chamber. So it's a giving back to them for the social cause of everybody. Taking up the issues, putting up your viewpoints, putting the perspective of the entrepreneurships and the companies to the government, and then interacting with them. And I enjoyed it, let me put it up like that. And obviously, but I have done up. It's a bit tiring in the last year when you are a president. It requires a lot of your time, and you have to take it out from your business. But it's enjoyable. I'll be very frank to tell you.
Sir, I had a question.
Yeah.
So I had the privilege of visiting your facility, plant, where we had seen the yoga room that you had created, and you had also said that you need to inspire your people for a higher goal. Just wanted your thoughts, we see with a lot of these new age companies where all the people are highly educated, so you can do a lot of welfare activities for them, which are like gym memberships or this and that. How do you go about inspiring people, when you have a blue collar workforce, where their needs are very basic and their inspiration is perhaps just an incentive? So,
no, it is not that. See, I will tell you, the human beings are human beings. Human being is not about money. Human being is what you do. Suppose you go out in the evening and have a good life, night life in the evening, and then you come to the blue collar job and you say, okay, you do this, I'll give you this. Obviously for him only money is there. So are you inspiring in your leadership what you are doing for society? Are you inspiring him, okay, what spirituality level you are? If you act like that, they will have a different feeling for you. But if you want to have a different lifestyle but then predict that you can do this, I can do for you, whatever you do for the society is known to him. If you are doing for the society, you are giving way in some methods or some donations or some other thing, he understands that you are there for this cause. It cannot remain unnoticed. Are you understanding my point?
You are saying inspired by your own example. And
Inspired by your own examples.
Okay.
You don't aspire him, you aspire the whole society by your example.
Okay.
You care. I said you care and share
Right.
rather than consume. See, our philosophy is, one philosophy could be to consume. And most of the young people live in this world to consume. But let me ask you this question. Today people are environment sensitive. Can you take a bath with 4 buckets of water? Do you know that people in the rural area cannot get a bucket of water for the whole family? You can say, I can afford it. Fair enough, you can afford it. Because you have commoditized the water. But is it a natural resource? Do you have a right to use this much water? You can say, I can afford for electricity, so let all the bulbs be open the whole night. Yes, you can pay for it. It's a commodity. But do you think it is worth it? Do you think other people are not worried about it to have electricity? If you will stop it, maybe other people will get it. So I think you should be aware of one thing, that more inequality you are going to create in a society. One thing is, government is looking at you, they don't want you to be unequal. But in future, you will have to share resources. You cannot say, I can afford it and I will do it. Even the US people cannot go and say that I have money, I can buy it. I can waste my food on the table. A day is going to come very shortly and very soon. They will have to realize, if you want to be environment friendly, if you want to be energy efficient, you have to be energy efficient to be environment friendly. So consumption control will come, no sooner than later. These things are because they want to live in 42 degrees centigrade in Europe and US. It's sizzling today. Why it is sizzling? Environment change. Why environment is changing? Because we are consuming. So that day is not far off. You can see it happening. So try to consume as much less as possible. Not that you can't afford it. You don't have to become like Mahatma Gandhi, I'll give away my clothes and I'll go. No, I'm not saying that. But whatever you can, at least plan that.
Right.
And people down the level, blue collar job, will look at that my boss is like this. It means to him. Then whatever is need, at least take care of those needs. Give him a timely salary, give him timely bonus, give him a timely increment. His well-being, you take care of his health, you take care of other things which you can easily do it.
Right.
So they have respect for all this. I have seen this so much so far. Yeah. Anything else? No, be open. The tea is waiting for you, no doubt about it.
I have something in mind, sir.
Yeah.
When you shifted from Indian Oil and started your own thing, so what, at that point of time, how, in your case at least, how did you realize that this is it? I need to...
See, I had an aspiration to do something of my own since beginning. And I could visualize that I can do this viscosity gauge myself, and I can also come up with other things. So obviously there was a debate whether I should do it or not do it. I had the most coziest job at this time, and very stable, not a small decision. But then we people have come from a background that I had so much confidence. Even if it doesn't succeed, I can go back and do a job. Maybe not Indian Oil, some other job I do. So that prompted me to do it.
So, like a lot of times with us, with having a stable business, we do see opportunities coming in, which maybe we should catch on immediately, but it's always that thought is there. Should I not take
Okay. Let me now take you away from the logical answers. You are looking for logical answers.
Can I add a follow-up question to it if I can answer?
Yeah.
So especially B2B or a service-oriented business, when do we draw? So we always say that no customers are alike, everyone is different, some are hard customers, some are good customers. When do we draw a line between a difficult customer and a customer who is not meant for you?
No customer can be difficult or hard. It's a question of understanding a customer. Let me finish at that. If you meet his need, why he can be hard customer? And if he's a customer who doesn't pay you for what you deliver to him, it's better to be out on day two. So that's you have to see that. I will again say you have to look at is he honest or not, his business is stable or not. If he is in a risky business and you think you are going to deal with him, you are going to risk yourself. So you have to decide on that basis. Not hard and deliver. Is he honest, and one, is he honest or not? Number two, his business is good or not? If that business itself is not good, whatever money you are going to put it is, you are going to risk yourself. You will say, I have no other business, then better find some other business. Because as I said, business is going to change very fast. As such, his business is going to change. People who were making automobiles and normal automobiles, diesel engines, they are already gone. So what do you do with them? You have to change your whole setup to make other products, you will have to do it. Yeah. So coming to this point of success, right, what product is success, let me tell you now, instead of all logical answers, please understand and be at peace with yourself. Things will happen at their own pace. There is some room for your effort and there is some room for a space which is decided not by you, by something else. So give yourself that room as well. If you are trying your best and things are not working out, don't get demotivated. Maybe it's not the right time for you. So take that time out and you will get it in due course of time. That is very important to be in that space. You may believe it, you may not believe it, but at least I believe.
Very fair point, sir.
Yeah. Everybody has a right to have his own opinion, but I strongly believe जब तक time नहीं होता तब तक अच्छा काम नहीं होता.
Totally believe that.
एक saying है इंडिया में, वो बिल्कुल ट्रू है, समय से पहले और किस्मत से ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं मिलता है. ये एक बिलीफ अपने में रखनी चाहिए. एफर्ट करते रहो to the best of whatever you can logically understand, but give yourself that space if things are not working out. Not to criticize your formula, not to criticize the way you have worked it. ये अभी टाइम नहीं था, कोई बात नहीं है, आएगा टाइम आएगा.
I have a question. Everybody is asking me about branding and everything. But looking at the business, like 50-60%, there's a lot goes on branding it. But we all know, looking at your business also, and for most of the B2C businesses, and a lot of B2B businesses also primarily, the engine is the effective and efficient sales force and a sales cycle. How to build that efficient and effective sales force, sales engine? Well, I think that is one that you can build great branding, like what you have done with Kit. But unless until there's an effective and efficient sales force and sales engine that is working, I think a lot of people miss that part, which is very important, and I think that's.
And it's also the tricky one to build.
Because that's not in your hand, right? Because sales cycles are also primarily blue collar workers for 25,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees workers with low loyalty, quick to change. How to build that engine?
See, let me be very clear about it. What you said is very correct. But before I answer this question, I'll only like to tell you one thing. एक डिश बहुत अच्छी बनी है, राइट? उसमें 10 इंग्रेडिएंट हैं, तो अच्छी बन गई. वही इंग्रेडिएंट में से एक प्लस माइनस हो गया तो डिश अच्छी हो गई. तो इट इज़ नॉट ओनली सेल्स. फर्स्ट थिंग इज एवरीथिंग इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. To whatever percentage you want to give it, you can give it. अगर उसमें से एक चीज भी, the business is nothing but an art. I don't call it a science. You may disagree with me, but let me tell you, business is not a science, it is an art. And everybody can do it in a different way. No dish is prepared by two ladies same way. They will taste differently. Same ingredient you give it to them. So business is also like this. Coming back to your question to building a great sales team, what you can do it, you can hire people, you can train them, you can give incentive policies, you can inspire them, you can train them. But if things does not happen, don't don't worry about it. As I said, timing is important. In timing, there are two things. Either we are ahead of time or we are behind time. Many things have come in and many people have introduced it when the time was not there for public to consume. And they became popular after some time. I have an example here sitting in this room for Surabhi. You know, what did she build 10 years, 15 years back? Do you all know it? She built a portal for designers' products. Portal, e-commerce. Before even anyone had come into India. And she was popular. Top designers of the country were on her portal to sell their products. But she was much ahead of the time. What Mahesh and all, there is nothing like Mahesh. Her portal was where the best of the designers of the country were vying to come to that portal to sell her product. But obviously, she was much ahead of time. People were not buying online at that time.
We eventually had to shut down with no profits.
So there was not a valuation business at that time that you raise equity. Suppose she could have raised equity at that time, and then she could have done, and then it multiplied her equity. But it didn't happen. So what I mean to say is that was not the right time. She was ahead of time. So you need to be at the right time to succeed. So timing is also important. And preparing any business, succeeding every business is nothing but an art, as I said. Does it answer your question? So don't worry about it. Sales team has to build, it will get built up, not a problem. Okay? I hope it made some sense to you all guys. Yes. So should we have a cup of tea now?
So I just want to
I'll check the coffee detail.
Yeah.
Take it.
फॉर्मेलिटी भी है क्या?
करना पे
तुमको
small
प्लांट भी देना है ऊपर प्लांट.
Sir, you know the protocol very well. It might just have been set up by you.
I am part of the PhD.
Yes.
No problem.
But thank you so much for sparing your time on behalf of the members who are here. Thank you for sparing your time and your insights and sharing from your experience. I mean, I hope this has been a valuable session for everybody as much as I have learned and we all learned. So thank you again, sir. I mean, it's always a pleasure hearing you speak.
You're welcome. Come at any time. Whatever I can share, it will be my honor.
Sir, I for one definitely will take you up on that opportunity. On that
Can we
opportunity.
request you to share your email ID in case someone...
Yeah, my email ID is simple. My name Mahesh Gupta @kent.co.in.
Which happened about a month back. So you know my father, Mr. Ajay Poda. So he told me एक महीने पहले कि कभी मौका मिले तो महेश गुप्ता जी के साथ बैठ के उनसे सीखना कि ब्रांड कैसे बनाते हैं. मैंने उनको हाँ बोल दिया, ठीक है कभी बैठेंगे. I had no this thing कि मैं how would I call him and say कि I need 1 hour of a time. And then this message comes that the session is there. So I said, ये तो मतलब this is manifestation.
समय से पहले
exactly एक महीने पहले की बात है. Beginning of July he mentioned this. I said हाँ बिल्कुल. And then today I get the opportunity to this. And then of course my madam Mr. Rakesh sitting also. हम लोग सब सेम ही ऑफिस में हैं. So I great to spend that time. Thank you so much.
सबके साथ शिवानी
Smile. Just
कैमरा
हाँ उससे स्कोप लेके एक वो बात है ना